Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it very, very much. You know, a lot of the students and student athletes have dealt with a great deal here with COVID, but they've really experienced a whole lot more difficulty with Hurricane Ida. And it's kind of hard to get into scheduling a system, and very few of those schools have really suffered as much as we see with our counterparts down in the South, down in South Lafourche. But they've got some great leadership down there, and we'd like to welcome back to the program, joining us by Skype, Coach Brian Kale. He is the head basketball coach for South Lafourche, and he's also the athletic director. Coach, thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be a part of it.
We appreciate it. You know, I know that y'all have been doing a great deal down there. Tell us a little bit about how things have kind of progressed over this particular semester and how y'all have been dealing with it.
Well, you know, when the school year started, we were looking forward to a normal year, getting back from COVID. And, you know, Hurricane Ida hit and threw us in a whirlwind. And our students were out of school for a good while, you know, and when we finally came back, we came back on an AB schedule where part of the school would come one day, the other half would come the next day. And we've been like that for a few weeks. And it's just an adjustment, again, to what our student athletes have to make. And it's just, we can't say enough about the job that our students and all have done to you know, come back to deal with the situation that they dealt with.
I know they did a lot of work when y'all had gotten back. In fact, the whole school wasn't even available or open. Is that right?
Right. We only had one part of the one school building, the upstairs and downstairs, one building available. The library was available, and that was pretty much it. So that's why we went with the AB schedule to accommodate, you know, our students, where we wouldn't be overcrowded. We couldn't fit everyone in the limited space that we had. And now things are starting to look a little bit better for us. When we get back in January, we're going to have most of the school building open. There's still some certain areas that will not be open, but our students will be coming back 5 days a week.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about the resiliency of not only the kids, but also your staff and all of the staff there at South Lafourche in really embracing this as a challenge way more than a problem. Right.
And, you know, it starts at the top. Our administration has been tremendous in this. And, you know, along our superintendent, first of all, given the resources to our principal to open the school back up. And Ms. Sheremy has done a tremendous job with her staff, getting the school building ready, our custodians. And it's another challenge that we take on. And our students don't complain about it. You know, this is what we dealt with, and we're taking it day by day, and each day is getting better and better.
And so tell us a little bit about how you guys are when y'all came back. What was the excitement level like when y'all were actually able to physically get in the building? I know some of us got a chance to look at some of that footage, but tell me what the feeling was like from the students and the staff once y'all were able to really feel like you were back home.
Well, when you first came into the building, it was like, wow. You know, you never thought something like this would happen in your area. And, you know, maybe a once-in-a-lifetime storm that we're dealing with, and just the destruction that we've seen at our school, and, you know, in all the community as well. But when you walk in our school building, it will never be the same. And it was just like, you know, wow, look what happened. This was, you know, this room was here, or now we can't get into this room. And just everyone the teachers were so glad to be back. We had like 3 days before the students came with just teachers to get the school building ready. And it was just a sense of pride that we can just get back into our school. And, you know, and everyone was just so glad to see each other and, you know, start the process of rebuilding and recovering.
Yeah, the wow factor cannot be understated with regards to that. I mean, I saw some of the footage initially, and then being able to watch as the progression goes. Do you kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel? I know you mentioned that in January there'll be the opening of some of the other buildings, but is there a little bit more hope that y'all are seeing just from the school and the physical arrangement of what's happening over at South Lafourche?
We opened up our basketball locker room today for the kids to come in. They got a chance. It's not the same locker room that we had. There was a lot of construction that was going on, but at least they were able to come in and see, their locker room and go through their personal things and get some of that taken care of.
Well, what an outstanding thing to have happen. And so to be able to get some idea of going and look at your stuff and, not being able to see it for so long, being able to open that part of the building and just kind of, you kind of wonder, what did I leave behind and what do I have moving forward? And so it sounds like you guys are just starting to really start to get back to a little bit more of some normalcy than you've had to this point.
Yeah, we spent the last 3 days at school unpacking, getting out ready for when our students return in January, because the contractors came in every building and every classroom and every office, and they took everything out of desks, off the walls, and they put everything in boxes. So we've been opening boxes for the last 3 days and unpacking and trying to put things where they belong and seeing exactly what was thrown away, because some things were covered with mold that had to be thrown away, and so that we're going through that process right now. But you can see a lot at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, every day is getting better and better. And hopefully, by next year that we can maybe have one of our gyms back.
Right. Well, Coach, I know it's important for us to talk about all of the students and what they do and all those student athletes as you as an athletic director. But I know you take a great deal of pride of being a really good basketball coach. Let's talk a little bit about what led up to this particular season and some of the challenges that your basketball team was faced with coming into this particular season.
Well, the main challenge we have right now is finding a place to practice. And Mr. Kurt Crosby, owner of Crosby Tugs, has a warehouse where he has a big cement slab, and there's a basketball or goal on each side of the warehouse where we've been able to practice. And at times we try and get to Central Lafourche maybe twice a week and try and practice in their gym. So it's a struggle to try and find the time to practice, because normally we practice right after school at 2:30. Now we finding ourselves practicing after other teams are practicing at their school, or we go at 3 o'clock at Mr. Kurt Crosby's place at Crosby Tugs and practice there. But it's a challenge to find a place to practice right now and also fit your varsity, JV, and freshman team into that schedule.
Yeah, so it's kind of a scheduling nightmare, if you will, just even having an alternative like Crosby Tugs helping out. It's just kind of difficult to get all three of those teams in the practice times that you need.
Yeah, look, again, Mr. Kurt Crosby has been fantastic in this, opening up his place of business for us to go and have a place to practice. And he's in the process of getting an air conditioning put in, and also he's going to be putting down a wooden floor in that warehouse. So where we're not going to be running on cement the entire time, exposing ourselves to injuries that shin splints and the such.
Right. Well, he's been such a huge support to the community and really making a difference in the area. It's always good to have that and being able to do that. You guys started off, it was a little bit difficult here with your varsity team, but y'all been able to make a push here in the last few days, huh?
Yeah, well, we started off playing Thibodeau High, and Thibodeau, Coach Clark does such a great job over there. We went in their place and we came away with a victory. In our schedule, we had Jesuit and Shaw, which are two powerhouses in 5A, and we came up a little short in those games. But then we played at Central Lafourche. We came away with a victory. And last night we played a very physical Terrebonne team and came away with that victory. So we're actually 3-2 on the season. Get a couple of days off, and we're going to look forward to going to the EDY tournament on Tuesday.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. Got some information, in fact, about that game over at Terrebonne, and that's kind of an understatement, a physical game. There was a whole lot of difficulty in that game, really kind of moving. You guys were both very physical teams, but y'all were able to make a difference at the free throw line last night. Yeah,
we did, and that's part of our what we want to get done. Is we want to get to the foul line and get those points from the free throw line. And I think we ended up shooting like maybe 36 free throws, and we got to improve on a percentage. I think we're 24 of 36, so we got to get better at that. But I was proud of the way our kids hung in there last night in that physical game. And look, I got to give a shout out to the official, Mr. John Laurel. He did a great job of keeping that game under control last night, because it could have gone a different way. But he did a good job of getting it under control.
Yeah, and y'all were able to kind of build a pretty good lead there in the third quarter, 51-33 there at the end of the third, on the back of those ability to kind of get to the rim and really get those fouls for your teams. And that's pretty good shooting percentage as well.
Right, that's what we want to get. We want to shoot higher percentage shots. The closer you are to the basket, the higher percentage it should be for you, and that's what we want to bank our success on. And, I was just, again, proud of our kids for hanging there in there in that tough environment. But we just got to get to the free throw line. Look, it was a 20-point game, and it always seemed a lot closer than that, because Terrebonne's ability to shoot the basketball, they can shoot themselves back into that game real quick if you don't take care of the basketball. And our kids did enough at the end to, come out with that victory.
Yeah, I tell you, it's one of those things, especially with the three-point line and teams that can shoot well from the outside. You got to really make sure that you are playing well within yourself. And again, the compliment to, as you gave the compliment to the referees from not letting that very physical game get out of hand, but also for your team to kind of keep their cool and be able to handle that lead. Sometimes coming back is a little bit easier, but having to handle that lead makes it a little bit more difficult. And so congratulations to you and the team. We appreciate not only your time and your direction, but being able to lead them. And good luck to you and the team as y'all look forward to going to this Edie White tournament here in the next few days. And so good luck this season and going into January at the school, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you joining us. And once again, that's Coach Brian Kale joining us. So very glad that he's able to do that. South Lafourche boys basketball coach and athletic director joining us per Skype. All right, and that's going to do it for this edition of Bayou Time Sports. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming as we continue.